Councilman Charlie Brown, to my right here. To my right here is. Our town engineer, Mike Leaks from MEG, and virtually with us, he gets to be out of state, is contracting. James A. Town Attorney Dave Zago, and I'm Steve Bedetti. So what we're gonna do tonight, I'm sure most of you folks are here for the public hearing on the sewer. What I have to do, it's redundant, it's lengthy, but I have to do it. So there's 24 sewer districts. I have to open each sewer districts first. I'm gonna go read a bunch of pages here. Then I'm gonna make some introductions. I'll have you folks come up and ask some questions. I'll close the public hearing and then I'll answer your questions. So with that, I'm going to start off with open the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 1. Open a public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility district number 2. Open a public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facility of district number 3. Open public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility of sewer district number 3, extension 1. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facilities of sewer district number 4. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facilities of sewer district number 5. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facilities of sewer district number 6. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facilities sewer district number 7. Open a public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facilities sewer district number 8. Open a public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facility sewer district number 9. Open a public hearing concerning increase of improvements of facility sewer district number 10. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facility district number 11. Open public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility of district number 12. Open a public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility district number 13. Open a public hearing concerning the increase and improvements of facility district number 14. Open a public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility district number 15. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facility number 16. Open public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility sewer district number 17. Open public hearing concerning the increase and improvements of facility of sewer district number 18. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facility of sewer district number 19. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facilities of sewer district number 20. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of sewer district number 22. There is no 21, so I'm not crazy. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facility sewer district number 23. Open public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facility district number 24. So with having that said, I'm going to, just before I do, obviously like I said, most of you folks are here for the letter that you received in the mail in reference to the New Windsor sewer pump station or sewer plant down Caesars Lane here in New Windsor, which all you folks in this sewer district in here, that all your sewage goes down to that plant on Caesars Lane. So this has to do with actually that plant on Caesars Lane, just so we're clear with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn it over to our engineer, Mike Weeks, who has actually been involved in this from day one, from years ago, from when he came on board to up until this point, to help us get this moving and get it off the ground. We'll talk a bit. I'll talk a little bit after that, and then hopefully we'll get everybody's questions answered, and we'll go from there. Mike Weeks.
Do you want me to kind of address them?
Yeah, you could, if you would, please. Yeah, I think the board pretty much is set on where we're going. If you want to just, so the folks can hear you and you're clear with them, that'd be perfect.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, kind work. My name's Michael Weeks. I'm local engineer, engineering. So there's a lot to talk about, obviously. So what I thought maybe was the simplest way to approach it with everybody was to kind of develop a timeline, start at the beginning, try to keep this relatively non-technical engineer, and just kind of walk through the beginning to the end here and try to give you some of the history and some of the reasons why we are undertaking the process. Hopefully it'll answer your questions and minimize what you want to talk about, but obviously we're happy to entertain your concerns. So the sewer plant at Cedar Lane, which takes, if you're all sewer district here in town, takes all of your sewage, was originally constructed in the 1950s, and as I understand it, it was built for small subdivision, Windsor overbuilt it, and it was offered for dedication to the town at that time. In 1968, there were some improvements made to the plant, and then in 1974, the plant was expanded to the current capacity of 5 million gallons. Basically, what was constructed in 1974 is generally what sits on that bed. The town has certainly made improvements over the years, but not significant improvements over the years. All of the concrete tanks, there's much of the equipment, all of the electrical instrumentation and controls is circa 1974, so over 50 years. Generally speaking, that type of improvement has a expected life of about 30, maybe 40. So we're 10 to 20 years beyond its anticipated plant that we're designing and will construct. Will have similar life expectancy. So, you know, just like your car, just like your home, the roof on your home, they all have a anticipated end of life, and we are at the end of life of this one. I'm gonna kind of jump ahead through the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and I'm gonna land on 2008. So in 2008, the town received number of notice of violations from the New York State DEC, which resulted in the town entering into a consent order with New York State DEC. And what that means, consent order, is that the town essentially agreed to make certain improvements because there were a number of issues and failures at the sewer plant. And it was generally related to sanitary sewer overflows, meaning the system didn't have the capacity to handle the flows, which meant that there were illicit discharges, so raw sewage flowing into streams. We got manhole, etc. So there were a number of items that the town had to do at that time, and the town undertook some improvements in the collection system. And then in 2013, we still had issues. 2013 was this time shortly after Hurricane Irene. We had a lot of issues in Hurricane Irene. A lot of issues at the sewer plant. And we got a new consent order, modified consent order, which had a number of other improvements. And things that the town had to do. Sometime in the late 90s, I think, this is before my time, sometime in the late 90s, the town began, you know, kind of contemplating, expanding, and improving the sewer plant. So moved to about 2018, and that's really when this project really took off. So a number of things happened that year. We had another consent order modification due to notice violations, and generally those are occurring because the plant is seeing more than its design capacity. So the plant is designed for 5 million gallons a day. Actually, in 2018, we exceeded that flow. That average flow of 5 million gallons a day, we were 5.25. So the plant couldn't treat flow to it. We had a number of different violations. Some were overflows, some were the actual effluent quality didn't meet the permit standard. So that again resulted in another modification to the consent order. In 2018, we also received, so the plant operates under what's called the SPEEDS permit, state pollutant discharge elimination system permit, and that's, you know, regulated ultimately by EPA and passed down to DEC. And that SPEEDS permit has a 5-year term, and that regulates how the plant operates. So it regulates the quality of the effluent coming out of the plant, it regulates the flow we can take, um, among a number of other things. So in 2018, we received, a permit, which had a number of new requirements in it for us, that DEC decided that we needed to meet. So there were a number of new parameters in our permit that we didn't have to treat for. Now we have to treat for. So that permit renewal came with what we call a schedule of compliance. So in the permit, then there's a schedule that dictates when we have to analyze how we're gonna meet these new treatment requirements, and when we're gonna make the improvements. We had a lot of back and forth with DEC, some we pushed back on some of these things. One of the main things we put back on was the time, because the time frame to restore needs to be done. So a lot of negotiations that went on. But regardless, writing was on the wall from the age of the plant and the new requirements that we had no choice but to improve. So in 2018, the town authorized a bond for planning bond essentially, which was for engineering and other associated costs like survey, geotechnical work. And we began evaluating various alternatives for what needed to be done in the plant to meet the required hydraulic capacity. So we're looking at expanding the plant 5 million gallons a day to 8 million gallons a day. And then what are the different treatment methods that are going to need to be employed to meet the new method? That started 6 years ago. In 2019, we again exceeded the permitted capacity of 5 million gallons a day. So each time we do that, each time we get at the end of the year, we look at our average daily flow. If we exceed what our permit is, it's not a good thing. So it involves, more negotiations with DEC, which has been ongoing really since that day. So in 2020, we're progressing through evaluating alternatives, progressing through dealing with the DEC. In 2022, we had kind of landed on a design, preferred design alternative for what was going to happen after. And we prepared cost estimate at that time. And what's called map plan reports, which is when we evaluate alternatives, evaluate the costs, and provide a basis essentially for what we're doing here tonight. So we had developed a cost estimate at that time, $59.1 million. You may remember that, you may remember it in the letter, you may have the hearings, and the town board authorized bonding. In 2022, we made application to the Environmental Facilities Corp and DEC for some grant funding, and we received a $14.8 million grant. In later that year, 2022, we submitted the new permit application to DEC for the expanded plan of the NPD and the essentially the new enhanced treatment that we provide. 2023, we exceeded the plant flow of 5 MGD. So just as of August 1st, there's a report we have to submit. Following year from exceeding the plant flow, so we just called a flow management report. So that was submitted August 1st. We also this year received 2 different letters, one from DEC with a number of violations in it, for example, were overflows, and a similar letter from the EPA for I think 44 sanitary sewer. So I bring these things up, the low exceedances, the notice violations, the consent orders, because this is the regulatory agency, DEC, the EPA, DEC reports to the EPA. These are the reasons why we're expanding the plant. Obviously, we've got the environment we need to consider. But we also have the regulatory agencies who are, protectors of the environment. So the improvements here really are necessary. This is not an expansion of this plant for some growth that we expect down the road. This plant needs to be expanded to handle the current flows that we receive today. Because we continue to have raw sewage being discharged where it doesn't belong. We're not, the plant's not capable, given its age and the flows that are efficient, very good, it's not capable.
Excuse me. What is our?
So the treatment plant has a capacity.
This is what I'm asking. If I can-
The treatment plant has a capacity of 5 million gallons a day. The years we've exceeded, it's been a nominal exceedance of 5.2, 5.1, in that range. We see in certain times of the year, we'll see flows at that plant of in excess of 50 million gallons a day. The 5 million gallon a day number is an average daily flow. The entire year, 365 days averaged out. So when that plant hits 16 million gallons in a day, the plant does not have the capability of processing it properly. So this year, 2024, we received a new fees permit from the DEC. A engineering report has been submitted to DEC and approved. And final design has progressed to about 75 to 85%. And those plans back in May were sent to a professional cost estimating firm to provide an estimate of what the construction cost will be. That is the basis for the new cost estimate of $109 million. This year, we also, well, I should say, probably starting in 2023, we have been working with Orange County's community development program, and we believe we're midway through the process. We believe we're probably going to secure another grant, which ties back to Hurricane Irene, it's probably enough, 2011, which would bring another $4.5 million of grant money into the support. So that's not a, we don't have that money locked up yet, but so I probably talked more than I expected.
No, you did good.
No, I appreciate it.
There.
So let me just give you a quick kind of synopsis of what the improvements of the plant include. Obviously the sewer plant is one of the lower parts of town. Just the way it works, when a low turn, it runs downhill. So we've got a very limited amount of property there. To relocate that facility somewhere else in the town would be massive undertaking. So we're really, our hands are tied to developing a new plant at that same location. The components of the existing plant are in such an age where really it's not prudent to reuse much of the existing infrastructure there. So we're tasked with building a brand new plant on the same site as the existing, while the existing plant is in operation. So it's very challenging construction project. It's been very challenging to stage where new pieces of equipment are going to be installed while the existing equipment remains operational. So I talked, the new permit has new effluent parameters that have to be met, enhanced. The existing effluent limits are much stricter. So the treatment process had to change from the treatment process that is there now. So we're going with what's called a membrane bioreactor, which is a kind of a membrane there's actually physical membrane in the plant. We go through primary treatment where a lot of the solids are removed. And then, there's basically this membrane in the water is filtered through. But it's very clean that point. And that's kind of the basis for the improvements there. User costs, I don't know if anyone listened to the workshop on Monday. You've had the comptroller do a little presentation on the analysis of the user costs. I will touch on some of the numbers, but so the current user costs for typical single family home are about $177. The bond authorization from 2021, $59.1 million estimate. That would have resulted in a additional debt service cost of about $148 per single family home. The proposed debt service based on the $109 million anticipated cost is an additional debt service cost per single family home of $265
Per year.
per year. So the total bill for a single family home will be approximately $442 a year. I took a look at a couple other Orange County towns with similar sized treatment plants. Just for purposes of reference. Town of Walker, they, and some of this is hard because every town has a different system of how they bill. So the town of Walker bills based on actual water meter readings. So kind of extrapolating a 4-bedroom home in the town of Walker. Today's rate is $512 a year. And a typical home, single family home in anywhere in the Orange County sewer district that goes to Harriman. So Monroe, Chester, Woodbury, Harriman would be $520. Also to note, Orange County is undergoing a very similar process that we are right now. I think we started around the same time. They've got schedule of compliance issues with VEC, and they're working on an expansion from 6 MGD to 9 MGD. And they're looking at last I heard, $150 and $200 million project. So that increase will go on top of the 534. Just to give you, I understand that it increases the increase, right? But just to give you a kind of a basis for what your neighbors.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Oh, no, that's good. Hold on, folks, 1 second. What I'm gonna do is I will, take some questions in a minute. Just to touch on what Mike was saying, I know most of you are probably here more concerned about what the increase is gonna cost you. If anybody did get that handout, it's here at the very last page of the handout. Shows you, if you look over the 2645 per point, the average home is 10 points, that's $265. If you look at the front of that chart, that 265 is over basically a 4-year term. If you look at the increase on the front of that chart, your average bill next year will be 23, and then it goes up to 129. If you look in the front of that chart, it tells you. So the increase is actually between a 4 and a 5 year period. And then after that 5th year, after we kick in with the grants and the debt service and everything like that, it starts to fall down a bit. Like Mike said.
Just add one thing.
Yep.
So what Steve was saying, and the rationale for it is, this plant is final design now. We're not gonna start constructing it until hopefully sometime next year. So it's not gonna be complete until 2027. So each year, the town has to borrow some money. They're not borrowing at all today. So that's why the incremental increase. So each year, there's a short-term loan taken out over the next 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, then all those short-term loans will be rolled into a big 30-year bond. What I didn't say is that these costs that we're talking about are exclusive of the two grants that we are in the process of wrapping. So there's close to, it's closer to maybe 18 million, but 18 to 19 million dollars has not been accounted for in the bond amount because the regulatory agencies don't let us do that. So we have to bond, we have to have authorization to borrow the full amount. When we're done with the project, the state will reimburse us the grant amounts. So that's why if you look at that chart, it actually goes down on the last year, because that's when we get the advantage of those grants. So just something that.
Yeah, so, like Mike was saying, that, each year we're gonna borrow a little bit to do some bits and pieces of the project, and right at the end of it, when it's all constructed, is when it all gets rolled into the bond, and that's why that'll probably be your highest rate the last year, and then it comes down after that once it gets rolled into that bond or a band, how they do it. Like Mike said, just to touch on, and I'm gonna entertain everybody's questions. Back in the early 90s, obviously this started, I was an employee here, but I wasn't on the board. In 2020, in 19, I was elected, 20, I joined the board as a council member. I was the liaison for the sewer plant and the water. I've gone to both of those places 100 times. I couldn't actually believe, well, I don't even know how they were running it, honestly. It's been, like Mike touched on, 2008 was the first DEC consent order, and we've literally been kicking the can since then. We're actually out of options. There is no other option here. Quite honestly, for me, I feel I do have, I have a mother at home that I do her finances, and I explain to her what we have, what it's going to be, the increase, what it is. It's the cost of running this plant for everybody that's in the sewer district. I took a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, a lot of people were confused. I had a woman told me, they asked me where she should park her car because she was afraid we were gonna dig her lawn up. All of this work has to do with the Caesar's Lane sewer plant. It's upgrading the plant. So when you flush your toilet, when it hits its last spot, that's where we're fixing. That's where we're looking to increase and bring back up to above par, if you will. It's been a problem for years. We deal with it every day. I will say that we have, with this plant, since we had the $59 million, we went out, got a cost estimator. We did a couple things to the plant. I actually had some of our sewer operators up in, I don't know where it was, Geneva, yesterday and today, looking at a plant up there that's similar to what we're looking to do, the sludge processing of it, if you will. That we've made a decision on the sludge processing part of it that actually is going to save us on O&M down the road, operating and maintenance of it down the road for years to come. One of the few around here that does it. Geneva has it, and I think the next plant they're building is in like Colorado. It has to do with this sludge. When we're done processing it right now, it has to go to a landfill in Pennsylvania that we spend, probably upwards to between $750,000 and $1 million to get rid of it. This sludge processing, we can literally put it in your garden and grow vegetables with it. That's the process now. So I don't know if you want to do that, but we certainly can. I'll try it first, I guess. Again, this is something that's a necessity. It's been the letter you got home. I said, and I'm going to say it. We sent a letter home in 2020, and I'd actually asked my predecessor. I called him up, and he said he got you remember getting 2 calls on it. Fast forward today, we used the exact same letter, changed the date, and I've got a number of calls. Obviously, COVID's hit. Everybody's watching their dollar. I get it. It's 4 years later, and here we are. I will tell you, I'm a member of the local fire department down the street, Velsgate Fire Department. One of my oldest life members here with us. We started to do a fire department building there. We started the endeavor in several years ago, and we came up with a price around $9 million. We're building it now for 22. It's more than double. Mike mentioned the county. They're probably up to over 200 million. They're going to do it. So it's obviously the price of doing business here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to if anybody has any questions, if you would please, up here is a sign-in sheet. The reason I do this because our deputy town clerk has to do minutes, and when she does minutes, she yells at me because she can't hear me or we can't hear the crowd. So if you want to come up here to the mic, perhaps just sign in and put your name and address, say your piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take everybody's questions. I'm going to go and close all the public hearings. Don't think I'm not going to answer your questions. I'm going to close all the public hearings. Then I'll respond to your questions. And what that basically is going to do is just so we're kind of not in a back and forth all day. And then at the very end, if you feel that you need another question that you thought about, there's an open forum, by all means, throw it at me. And, if not, I'll give out my card, my name, my cell phone number, my home address, my office number, whatever you want. Come visit, call me, whatever, and I'll answer any questions you want. So anybody, you want to come, ma'am? Come on up.
Yeah,
Oh.
I do.
Yeah, can you give me 1 second? I just got somebody here in the audience gonna talk. Hi, you are? Yeah, okay, thank you.
So the question has to do with what that would look like. So since around about overtime, the 442 for 12 months, so make it $110 a quarter, or whatever that.
No, so if you look, there's a handout there. I don't know if you got that handout at the top there, the far one, the color one there, the front page. So this is actually gonna go on your taxes. And it's an increase, a yearly increase. You know, the best way I can explain it to people is it's $50 a year for 5 years. It's $265, a total increase. So on the very last page of that handout, I'm going against my rule here, but on the very last page of the handout, the 2645 is per point. And 10 points is an average home, which equals 264.50. So that's gonna be the actual increase of your cost over that time until we cash in that bond. So it's, like I said, it equates, if you look on the front here, your 25 bill is gonna go from 14 to 23, and then 26 is gonna go 23 to 129. And it shows you the blue, on the bottom, it says estimated sewer tax bill per typical home on the bottom, on the left, and on the right is the change, and you'll see the increase on the bottom in the orange. Just basically maps it out for you. So, you know, listen, so if you look at the very last page too, and for the folks too, to kind of make it clear, everybody got a letter home, I get it. You know, perhaps a bit confusing if you live in sewer district 9, you know, it says, the line says, you know, $3.7 million. I got people calling, how much is it going to cost me? $50. And then they said, all right, goodbye, see you later. That has to do, if you look on this line here, each sewer district has a number of parcels in it. So we take that number of parcels, times it by the points that they have per that parcel, and that's how we come up with that number. So not to scare people, but that's the number for their, for that particular district.
One non-cost question has to do with, say what this question, but just curious. Will the station also, the gas releases that? Like the small.
The odors of the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the new plan, will have just about every tank covered. And the sludge process of the new plan will have, odor control. The existing plan has every tank uncovered. And the processing of sludge at the current plant. I would expect to say that the new plant will.
Yeah, and I will tell you, for the folks at home or anybody here, I'm not certain how many takers I'm gonna get, but anybody wants to take a trip down to that plant one day and see it, by all means, call me. I'll bring it down there. And you'll see, you'll get firsthand a look at what it's all about. It's, I guess beyond interesting, but, again, my information is online. There's I have a woman online, just to also for those folks online, this chart, obviously you can't see it through the online, is actually on our website. So if you go on the town website, you'll see what I'm talking about. Who is that? Mrs. Evans? Is that who I have?
I think it was Justin.
No, Justin's your guy to your left.
That was that. Okay, so I saw that.
Is she there?
So I'm sorry.
I'll let her poke in there when she comes. Anybody else in the audience that wanna hop up, Mike? Blake, I know your name, so. Yes.
Just a couple of quick questions, in no particular order. This is to Mike, are there any individual district upgrades going on with this in terms of pump stations or anything like that, or is this all just going to be down at Caesar Plant?
This bond authorization is for Caesar Lane improvements.
That's it.
That's it. We do have other improvements going on in really, I think it's sewer district 9 right now, but that was a separate bond.
Oh, that was another question that I had. I own property in sewer district 1 and sewer district 23. And I see these numbers here. And does that translate, I mean, the sewer 1 is 1.9 million, sewer 23 is 3.3. Does that?
So everybody's paying the same, like,
Everybody-
the reason being is because everybody that's in every one of these sewer districts, when they flush their toilet, it ends up in the same plant. So that plant's getting redone, so everybody's gonna equally share that amount. Now, I live in sewer district 9. We bonded that, my sewer district tax went up because we bonded something in there. That didn't hit you or anybody else in any other district. So this is strictly for everybody's equally sharing the fee to replace the sewer plant.
No, I'm just curious about, when you break down these numbers.
Right.
like this, it looks like sewer district 1 is gonna incur an additional bond debt of $1.95 million.
No.
I'm just looking at what I got.
With the thing you got in there? No, I don't, I think that was just a breakdown. That's not gonna be the case. Your cost,
Cost.
Yes.
What's it gonna cost?
yes, is
Each one of my.
is that, did I just mute that, Justin? Is that on the front of the chart? It's gonna cost you that increase per
Because when that
property.
woman spoke,
Okay.
your name came up, it was weird.
And that was my other question. I see sewer district 9, which is, I think, the airport.
No, that's River and Walsh, right? River and Walsh?
Yeah.
Sewer District 9 is River and Walsh. That's the one I'm in. That's the pump station where,
This one is like $24 million.
yeah, that's the
Project.
Sewer District 9 is the one that's the one we're rehabbing now. We're gonna be in the middle of.
Is there any other, you said something about $9 million might be available? Will that come off of that $109 million?
So we've received a $14.8 million.
Yeah.
And we are,
Is that reflected in this?
no, we are in the process of hopefully receiving another 4. Those figures are not reflective of, we have the bond the full.
Yeah.
So, the reason why that chart shows the number going down at the end is because that's when we'll get to take advantage of those bonds, or those grants, excuse me, and hopefully we don't have to bond this. But we would then be bonding.
This one is a worst case scenario. Is that fair to say?
That's based on today's estimate.
Cost estimate, and that's why we're doing some stuff now, like we have the entrance to the place that we're doing, we had some granting for, so we're in the process of trying to do some stuff now, and we've done some stuff with the declare over the years and stuff like that. I think you were around then, when we were doing them, so,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
But just, is anybody looking into any other EPA or DEC or state of New York grants that might be available?
Yes, we applied this summer for a, what's called WQIP, Water Quality Improvement Project, grant, so we did apply for that this summer. Which would be, if awarded, would be a maximum of another 10 million. We would find out, probably in December, whether we were successful.
we're chasing every dollar possible, we're scraping every barrel. Trust me, I'm trying to.
I know you well enough.
We're trying to, we've met with congressmen and local senators, and we got our assembly people here with us, we've tried to chase every dollar we can.
Thanks, Mike.
My name is Dan Volpe. Couple questions. We talked about cost overruns and the timeline, which is gonna take to develop this. And then, of course, the interest expense with respect to the short-term borrow. Obviously, there's no way to control that, at least initially here. My question about the grants. Live in a political environment. Are the grants, or does it change with the political wind?
No, they're grants. They're guaranteed,
Survive any change?
they're guaranteed money. I leave, I go, the board goes, we change, it's our money. They're grants, yeah, we're not gonna, trust me, I'll be knocking on somebody's door if they think they're gonna be doing it then.
And then, at the end of the day, the bond will be $109 million, or subject to?
Yeah,
whatever grants you get?
it's,
So
yeah, it's,
that'll be renegotiated as a bond? as a-
yes. I mean, my hope is to, I mean, I guess it's a hope, but my hope is to chase every dollar and that not be the final number, but I'd be lying if I didn't say, we know there's change work orders, and I think everybody in the world know that, nothing goes according to plan. I get it. If there are funds that are, gathered or had or unallocated funds like that, I'm gonna do my best as long as I'm in there to limit the damage to the taxpayers.
And the letter of agreement that we have to do these improvements, is it subject to everybody doing what they're supposed to do in a timeline? We have enough leeway to get the plant built before the DEC, the EPA says you're in violation again?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest with you, they have absolutely no choice but, follow us now. I mean, they can we could be subject to $37,500 a day fine. However, they see that we're making headway. We've blown out the bond once for the 59 million. We've done a little work down there. We're gonna open bids and do some other work. We got some entrance work being done. So they see that we're trying. We got new permits, new limits. So we're on our way to doing this, and I think they're trying to, they're playing nice with us, if you will.
Okay.
So we try to help, yeah, but it's like anything else. Their climate changes often, and I can't control that. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dominic Pinola, and I have a question about, it seems that the price of this plant increased 100% in 4 years. And I think you're trying to explain how that happened. I don't fully understand that happened. The second part of this is, when do we anticipate that we'll put this to bid and sign a contract for its construction? Because if we're going up 100% every 4 years, and this takes another 2 years to get going, final number is going to be 30 million, 40 million.
Good question. So there are a couple answers to that. The 59 million was an estimate based on a very preliminary schematic design that was evaluating alternatives and developing a very initial. What we have now is a 75% set of final design documents with all of the pieces of equipment, all of the elements that are required. Through that process, we have added some things, not part of the original estimate. Some of those things that we've added have been, as Stephen mentioned, we've added a whole other process to the, what I would call the end of the plant, which is the processing of the sludge, which will afford the town the ability to have a lot more control over where that gets disposed. Right now, it's trucked to Danbury, Connecticut. Every 3 days, we take a 15-yard dumpster to Danbury, Connecticut, and we burn it. The new plant will allow us to create what's called a Class A biosolid, which can be landfill. And that will significantly reduce some of the O&M. So that was, I think, a $15 million add-on to the plant that we all felt, the board felt, was a smart decision. The other part of the equation is, and Steve called it a bad word, it's work session Monday. The other part of the equation is COVID. That $59.1 million estimate was before COVID. We had some other projects, one of them in Cornwall, where we had, at their sewer plant, we had equipment quotes, because they're doing some improvements there. We had equipment quotes for $8 million project, and we got new quotes in 2021, and just about all the material costs for that project, just the materials, not taking into account labor or anything else. So I'm sure you all see it every day, the price of everything has drastically changed. 2020.
Clearly it has.
Hard to, it's hard to understand, I know, but it's.
It seems a lot more than. This is probably, more than 10, probably more than 25% a year.
Well, it's less than double, right? Close, and it's right. And I know that we literally had quotes from the same manufacturer for the same piece of equipment 2 years apart that were.
You know,
So-
to answer your question too, you know, if you were looking for some guarantee of us that is just could this be 140 million? 100%. You know, it could be. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit there, you know, like I said, change work orders. This is where these people make their money. You know, you never know what you're gonna run into. And you know, we have to do all along, we have to do this while this plant's running and trying to build a plant next to it. So we're gonna do our best to limit that. But yeah, I mean, once we award bids, there's timelines built in these bids that if they don't get it done by a certain amount of time, it may cost them and they'll be under the gun and then maybe we charge them back. You know, I've seen that, or we'll get something out of them some way or another, but yeah, you know, I think, you know, there's no guarantees. You went to the store today, right? You know, your grocery bill 2 years ago was $60. Now it's, you know, 260. So it's insane, but you know, we're doing, it depends on who you go shopping with, or if you're hungry. So yeah, it's, you know, we're doing our best to, you know, we're even trying to design this for the future too, to save us on the operating maintenance. They went up, I talked to our sewer operator today. He came back, I think even Mike said, he was kind of excited. He came back and I said, how was your trip? Because, you know, it's so much easier on the operation side of it. Perhaps our maintenance from him now gets a little cheaper. So there's things that we're gonna be dialing up when we get closer to it, so.
And so when do you anticipate putting this to bid?
We are currently in the process of final design. We have one more approval to get from DEC and Environmental Facilities Corp. And we are hoping to put this out to bid in spring of next year.
And when you generally put this type of work out to bid, and I see you've done it in other areas also, there's usually just one bidder.
Oh, no, there will be several bidders for the project. You know.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, we'll get contractors, no doubt of this size, we can get contractors from all over.
Yeah, I think that, you know, especially with this, we're gonna have I mean, I don't know if it's unique, but I'm gonna use the word unique sludge processing. So I don't know if they break it out in the bids and, you know, the sludge processor is only one guy that can bid on it. And so there are components of it. We're dealing with you know, people deal with different things, whether they're union labor, whether they're not. So it's a big, it's a task and these guys are good at it. I'll watch your dollar for you, I promise you.
And I just have one more question. I was hearing about the average flows through the plant, and I think at one point you said there were 12 million went through one.
I think it
day.
only can register 15, yeah, 15.
And we only know that number, because that's the max that the flow meter reads.
Is that because storm drainage sanitary stores?
We do not have a combined, or sanitary. We do have what's called inflow infiltration. We do have I&I in the system. When it rains, we see much higher flows at the plant. It's a result of a number of things that we are in concert with this project working on in the town. But we've got infrastructure that's old, you have pipes that have joints that are broken, you have homeowners who have some pumps that are piped into their sanitary sewer, you have manholes that have holes in them. So when it rains, the groundwater comes up, and we definitely see spikes in our flow because of.
Well, I think there might be some like people aren't flushing their toilets that much extra than the bigger.
No.
I will tell you, I live not far from that sewer plant and when it's raining out, I cringe when I flush my toilet. I've never in my entire life thought about sewer until 2020 when I got in here. And now when I got in here as a liaison and now I'm in this seat, I cringe when I dream about the sewer plant now. It's insane, but it's a concern. And yeah, it is what it is. Trust me. That's why I can't wait to bring some people down there. They'll see what I'm talking about. No, thank you. So let me just, hold on, you could talk about, is there somebody still on? I know there was somebody on that was having some problem connecting, and she didn't. You there? Unmuted? No? Sir, you wanna come up? I'll get you next, I promise.
Follow the numbers, okay? Now, the initial proposal 4 years ago was $59 million, okay? And you know, everyone knows that the current proposal is $109 million. So I just did kind of like a simple look back. You know, anybody can verify these numbers, but I'm just gonna stop now. But in 2020, the average rate of inflation is 1.2%. 2021, the average rate of inflation is 4.7%. 2022, which was the high water mark, the average rate of inflation was 8%. And in 2023, the average rate of inflation kind of dipped to 4.1%. Now, this whole price increase, all what it is, we're blaming it on inflation. Okay, cost of material, cost of labor, I get it. Okay, things do go up. You take these numbers now, I used 8% because it's the most generous number out there, or the worst case scenario, I should say. And you put it into an inflation cost calculator. Starting at $59 million at an 8% average inflation rate, 4 years, brings you to $80 million. $80 million is a far stretch to $109 million. So just kind of based on these numbers alone, do have a problem with the overall cost. I mean, from 80 million, using 8% inflation rate, which would be out, which is a high mark. $59 million job over 4 years, that $59 million job should be $80 million. So that's the concern. Okay. Another concern of my own is back when the job 4 years ago was being discussed at the $59 million number that was thrown around per increase per household was $500. We could probably go back to some of the video conferences that were going on back then, but that was the number I recall being thrown around as the annual increase per household. How can, you know, I guess my question is how can a job essentially double and yet the average household cost will remain the same? To me, it just doesn't add up. So now my question is Mr. Leach, you had said that you took all the information, you sent it out to this professional cost-based estimating firm. Kind of come up with the numbers. Is that fair? That's fair. Does this go out to bid of some sort, or is it just some company that you're affiliated with, or?
So the cost estimator is a professional service firm, and this is what they do for a living.
I understand. And I guess what I'm asking is
This project will be publicly bid. And the town will essentially be obligated to award the project to the lowest qualified bidder. So the cost estimator is, it's an extra, the cost estimator was an extra step for the town to take to try and get an understanding of the cost of this project, because as we have, we do my firm does a lot of municipal work in the county. And as anybody affiliated with any of the other towns knows, the cost of construction has drastically changed over the last 4 years. So, yep. So, this was an extra step to try and get a handle on where we think the construction is.
But normally when we do much smaller projects and our engineer, he can go out and they can figure out what it is, and we don't have to spend any money on getting it out. Since we were talking about such a big project, and we left it to the next step up, the people who do that for a living. To kind of give us a general idea, to answer your question too before, when you said the number and how can they stay, obviously the granting comes in the figures that on the end, there's other funds that we use from the sewer that we collect over the years that we keep in for reserves that we're gonna use to pay down some of that money. So our job is to make the hit on you as less as we can. And these are why we're able to keep these numbers stable. Because of over the several years that there have been, some reserves there for us to use for that. I get it. Hey, listen, I wish it wasn't the case. I wish that they came to us and said, when I heard it, I got a phone call, you ready? I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm like, are you, I was never, but you see these articles in the paper with, and I know this is New Windsor, I get it, but you're looking at Orange County and they went from 54 and their estimator came back to 156 and they're saying it's well over 200 now. And I bet you it's probably gonna be closer to 3. We keep kicking this. We started since 92. We wait until it's over with. This could be, 300 million.
Full, rating fix the job.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've been down to the sewer plant when it's pouring raining and see that it's not proper stuff.
So if you want to leave, it's up to you. If you want to leave your cell phone number for me, I have my comptroller who's, when it comes to these numbers, way smarter than me. I will hook up with her and you and maybe make a little more sense of it for you.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to leave that on the sheet, I'll definitely give you a shout and we'll get to the bottom of your question. No. Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Something that was maybe a little bit troubling to me, that we are obligated to take the lowest bidder. So if the lowest bidder came in at $150 million, we have to do that.
I mean, well, if it's 150, 180 and 200, which one do you want?
That whoever came up with this $109 million
So-
was in tune for what happened.
Yeah,
in the world.
no, I get what you're saying. So, I gotta be honest with you, the lowest bidder may not meet our bid standards and it may be the middle bid. So, yes, we have to take the lowest bidder. We can reject all bids and go out to bid or do what we gotta do. We don't necessarily have to accept them. We can go back out and do it again. So I kind of trust that we're in lines with where, our 109 number is in lines with what we're gonna do. The sooner we go and approve these funds and get it out there, the faster we get these numbers back in what we want them to be, hopefully.
But
And
we really won't know what this costs until that.
we never, if I knew that, I would not be in this chair, I'll tell you that right now. No, I gotta let that young lady speak first. She had her hand up.
Based on your data for the sewage overflow, what do you project it to be with the new sewage plant? How much water will sewage will be able to handle?
So the design flow, the average design flow for the new plant is 8 million gallons a day.
And what criteria did you use to come up with that number? Because looking ahead, there's lots of construction and
So
things going on, so is that a good number for the future? Or are we gonna have to go through this again?
that was developed based on looking at a lot of data over the last, I'll say 10 years at the sewer plant. Looking at vacant properties, looking at projects that are in the pipeline. So that number wasn't just a dart at the wall. There was some analysis done.
Yeah.
To try to construct something that's going to be somewhat future-proof, but that's also not going to put a burden on the existing tax base who, why should you pay for an expansion? For selling?
How would that be agreed with that 8 number?
Yeah, we did in 2020, we did a master comprehensive plan. And when we did that plan, we took into account for everything that's in the pipeline, planning board stuff. Quite frankly, there's stuff still on our planning board that are getting renewed for the last 20, 25 years, which we're working on now. And then, like Mike said, we took vacant lands and we took everything we did. We feel pretty comfortable that 3 is gonna be, and 3 is gonna be not only good and comfortable with us for the future. I think they upgraded, I believe, from 3 to 5 to MGD 50 years ago when they changed the plant. I know it was really not a plant, but we feel confident we can get at least another 50, 60 years out of that. We're probably 20 years.
I may go by then.
I'll be right next to you. So, but yeah, I feel that we've done our due diligence to get that. And quite frankly, I think if we went up another one, I think this room would have a lot more people in it because it'd probably be, add another third on top of that. So
question is to you, so I'm not really familiar with grants and how you pay back homeowners. But I think you said something about getting, if we get these grants, we'll get paid back or it will be reduced. Will that be reflected for the homeowners?
Yeah, so on your tax bill, you get charged what we call debt service. So that's essentially the principal and interest payment for the bond amount. The operations and maintenance is built in a different way. So up until the time the treatment plan is constructed, there will be short-term, the annual short-term loans that the town takes out to process along. When the project is done, they'll do a 30-year bond for the total amount of borrow that the town needed. So that will then take into account the grants that we received.
Okay,
So it'll take into account the final project costs, less the grants that were received. They'll essentially roll all of that up into one borrow, one 30-year loan. And then that's what you will pay as debt service on your.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. What'd you have? You had one other thing?
The question I have, so it starts at 5 years, just wondering whether that's beyond the 5 years.
So you see it starts dipping on 2029. That's when it starts going down. So what, I don't know what it's gonna go down to, but that's the projected, to that year to go down. Because we feel that the plant will be complete at that point, everything will be mixed and mossed into a bond, and then that portion of it will go down. We don't, because we don't know that, we have to wait, quite honestly, there's some components of this, the plant coming in, what it costs at the end, and what grants we have that get applied to that. Hopefully we get some more grants between now and then, and that dips down even further. That's the hopes.
Essentially, what I understood from my gentleman's question, one of the reasons for the change in estimated cost, also potentially have to do design changes, right? So there's some improvement in design, or slash treatment stuff.
Correct, yep.
Yeah, sir?
Any chance of getting money under that federal program infrastructure?
So, but I know we,
So there's what's called the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Which you probably heard about a couple of years ago. And that money is mixed in with the other New York State grant programs. That money is pretty much earmarked for other projects, not sewer projects. So
That part of infrastructure though?
it is. So New York State has a couple different grant programs. And one of them is a water infrastructure improvement grant, WIIA, WIA grant, we call it. And it's done through the Environmental Facilities Board. And they have what's called a revolving loan. And the feds fund that program. And they take money and they have grants and loans. And it's done for all municipalities in New York State. And it's basically just the money just gets recycled. So as somebody pays off a loan, the money goes back to the pot, and they let somebody else borrow. So, and then the feds put money in that program for New York State every year. So there is money that comes out of that infrastructure bill. That's how New York State gets it, and that's how New York State distributes it. So we applied for that grant program in whatever year I said, 2021. And that's when we received just shy of $15 million for a grant, and that's actually the cap on the grant program. So we received the maximum grant that year. They pretty much will limit, we can't apply for that program again. They've maxed us out. So that's really the main funding avenue for a project like this. So we have applied to a couple other programs. We'll see if we're successful, but my speculation is the state is going to limit us for anything significant through infrastructure funding for that one grant.
I had Congressman Ryan in my office maybe a month ago, and I was basically begging and said, you gotta help us out. I know one of the grants we put in for, we didn't get. I saw him at another event in Newburgh. He said, listen, I apologize for it and put in for it. You'll be on the top of my radar. So I'm gonna keep putting into it. I'm gonna keep pounding them until I get something out of them. But you know, like I said, we're gonna continue every penny that's possibly out there. We're trying, we're not just gonna say, we can put it on the taxpayers. It's not, fair. I'm one of them too. I don't wanna bear it either. So we're trying to chase every penny we can. I promise you that. All right. Sir,
My name is James Kimball. I'm a resident of Butterhill. Should know more about the sludge that you're talking about, because I can just imagine where before it's shipped off site, now it's gonna be cut, I'm assuming on site. And I imagine decomposing sludge, that's gonna have an awful smell. So as a resident of Butterhill, I'd love to know more about the smell and mitigation of the smell.
so I will say, and I'll let Mike answer, but I will say just that based on the guy that I spoke to today, that was our plant operator. When I was talking to him, he showed me a picture of the sludge pile at this plant up in Geneva. And it had this absolute beautiful grass on top of it. And I said, what's that? He goes, that's the sludge pile. I said, does it smell? And he goes, not 1 ounce. Now, this guy is literally in sewer 24 hours a day. He does it, but there is no footprint down at our sewer plant to dump sludge all day. So it definitely will not be kept on that property there. It's gonna be, you know, we're gonna figure out, and that's another, you know, a component of us but the beauty of it is if it's, you know, this company up there, this town, they sell it to landscapers, they sell it to construction companies, use it for fill. So he says they have no shortage of, and their plant is gonna be the same size as ours. So they do have a small pile of it there on their grounds, but that's not our intent to start dumping our process on our property there.
So, I think I said earlier that right now, all of the tanks have the treatment plant clear. And sludge comes out of 2 digesters. It goes into the building, it's processed through a sludge press. And the sludge is really not treated. The sludge comes out of all the other treatment tanks and it's a byproduct and it's really still has lots of ammonia, it still has lots of things that can be further broken down. The new plant will, all the tanks are covered. And the sludge will be broken down further. The odor really comes from the breakdown of a lot of the stuff, breakdown of the hydrogen sulfide, breakdown of the ammonia. And when that's allowed to just exhaust into the air, that's what's just done. So the sludge system will be covered. It has a odor control, a biofilter, odor control element on the end of it. And then the sludge that comes out of that, all of the byproducts have been removed, if you will, treated, broken down, removed. So what's left does not have.
And that'll remain that.
So, I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna see us spend $109 million for us to take the smell out of a tank and stick it on the ground and spread it out and have everybody. And I'm not saying this just because I live up the street, but I live up the street. You know, trust me, I got that same odor. And that's something that we're moving forward. That was a complaint from several people in Butterhill. I know some people that literally look at that plant. And, you know, rightfully so that we'll come up with the plans. But to get rid of it, it's not gonna be, you know, nearly $1 million. It's gonna be to either a landscaper or somebody that we're gonna get rid of it.
I attended the meeting last year and asked this question about the new facility, because from the diagrams that you provided last year, this new building there or infrastructure is going to be built further back into that property, which the Butterhill residents mean it's going to be further along Caesar's Lane to the middle. So where I don't smell anything today, because
I'm telling you by a couple 100 feet, I think, right? Yeah, if a couple 100 feet, I'm telling you, you're not gonna notice the footprint. I mean, I'm telling you, if you went away for a week and you came back, you're not gonna notice the footprint that's different.
Filters in the secondary clarifier right now are all open to the air.
Yeah, you gotta understand, we have a plant that we have to build a new plant on the same site. And to make it all intermingle and work, the further we go, the worse it's gonna be. So it's gonna be all tight.
So where I'm going with this is that I remember last year you said the same thing, that they're going to be covered, but they're also going to have vents on them. So the smell is going to come out of those facilities, I guess.
Yeah, likely.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that a sewer treatment plant is gonna have.
So I asked last year, about, has there been any odor mitigation been put into these numbers?
Yeah.
And last year I was told no. And, I did talk to the town supervisor before he left, and he said he's gonna get information to you
Yeah.
about maybe adding some, odor mitigation.
So-
Which the numbers haven't changed from last year, still
No,
don't 9 million.
they have changed.
They have changed
And we have,
It wasn't enough.
by 50 million.
they have changed, and by enhancing the sludge treatment, it will reduce potential for odors from the sludge, which is probably the biggest offender of odor.
Yeah, we're going
There
from,
have been improvements made. Increase.
we're going from an uncovered plant to a covered plant, A, and B, the extra money that we decided to do for this sludge treatment is also a way of odor control.
If
And
there's odor control available, why don't we add this to the?
so I know we talked about it briefly too, and I believe there was plants that we've looked at that had odor control, like I don't care if it was perfume sprays on it or something like that. It didn't work, and people spent millions and millions of dollars on it. It didn't work. I will tell you the odor is, it depends on what time of the day, what time of the year, what the, barometric pressure is, and it all matters. But we're going from a plant, and again, like I said, I can't stress enough, that is literally open to the air. If you go down there, you've seen it down there, I'm sure. If you go down and you look at what's gonna be up and coming, like Mike said, why?
Solar plants though, it can be further, have to develop.
It's really not. When I say further, it's literally, we're talking about 100 feet, because you gotta realize that water runs there. And there's a bank there, so it's literally just about almost on the exact same footprint. We're just gonna be going a little beyond the property line that we just alienated property for.
The engineer last year said that there is odor mitigation that can be implemented,
Mhm.
and I, for one, would like to see that done.
It is.
I can't believe there's not gonna be less odor after this is done.
No, I'm gonna go out and I'll bet my political career on it that it will be far less than what's there now. Far less.
Concerned about where I live right now.
No, I
I
know.
live in there.
No, and you live quite a bit of ways from that plant too.
I do.
Yeah, you live right off of 94 there.
Moving further back towards me.
No, when you say further back, I'm talking from me to you further back. It's not, I'm telling you,
Not to the diagrams he had last year.
if you look at it, and I'll certainly bring it down there and show you, I mean, it's literally from almost me to you back. That's how far, it's not,
What they did on that.
it's 100%. I'll give you my number and we'll go down there and I'll show you the whole footprint.
But, again, as a resident there, I think we should do the odor mitigation.
Yeah, well, we could talk a little more about it. I don't know, quite frankly, I don't know what more, if it's spray bars or something like that. I know we've tried it in the past, what we have, the current plant we have now. I know the supervisor, my predecessor, his first term, he tried to do some odor control down there. And they just spent money on it and it didn't work. It didn't do nothing. I get it. And because it's an open plant, this is gonna be a closed plant. It's gonna be a entirely different plant.
Plant over events. The engineer said there's something more that could be done.
Yeah, so we'll look at it. Okay?
I do have one more thing to the board, that, over the last several years, there's been some big ticket items that's gone off taxpayers. And, it's a little bit to me, but, we purchased things like fire trucks, water wells, building a new firehouse, which, by the way, I don't know why we're building a new firehouse. I own that building.
So let me stop you. So the Valesgate Fire District has a Board of Fire Commissioners, has nothing to do with the town of New Windsor. So they have meetings, their meetings are first Monday of every month. You look it up, you can go attend their meetings. They're the ones that set the fire district, fire tax, they're the one building it. So you'd have to,
Big ticket items.
no, I understand it. That's something
Now
you,
the septic system, so there's a lot of,
So-
probably more.
so not to get,
That's a lot of new taxes that we have to bear.
no, understood.
We have this high inflation going on, and it's just a lot, all
Yeah.
the time, well, within a few years.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Anybody else? Sir?
Hi, my name is Bob Cloud from Buttercup. So, thank you very much for your presentation, both educational and, helps explain a lot. You did speak about the, maintenance once it's up and running. Do we know enough right now to get a sense of how much more or less? I know you made some predictions about maintenance costs going out the next 10 years once it's up and running. Do we know anything enough to say it would be about the same, given the normal increases, or will it be dramatically different?
So I'm gonna say this and Mike jump in there and yell at me. I'm certain, and I don't know, because haven't seen the plant running. I am a betting guy, and I will say that probably after all this new technology comes out, there's gonna be more motors running in this to make it a better plant like that. Energy wise, it's probably gonna be most likely a little more. Maintenance wise, it's gonna be far less. So one may outweigh the other as far as a maintenance contract opposed to, for me to sit here and tell you, do I think it's, my bet it's gonna probably be, from what I've seen, probably be a little bit more energy wise to run, because there's more motors involved with this, to stop the, odors and everything else that we have to do to close this thing in.
That's what
So,
I'm thinking of the whole picture.
yes, yeah, most likely it will be, probably a tad bit more expensive to run it, but we have saved nearly $1 million on the sludge processing. And then it may said, so where we may lose in one, we may gain in the other, so it may not be a hit on anybody, if you will. So
And
that's what we're hoping.
or That you've looked into it?
Oh, yeah. No,
Did you learn anything from, I think with Geneva? you
so
said?
they did. I talked to them and they, that plant, he said it's been running for about 6 years. They had the sales rep up there. They picked their brain on what the pros and cons are, what the good and what the bad, what we can learn from it. So it wasn't like a plant they just dropped in there yesterday. We would get, even more updated, a little more updated things that they've done, we've learned from their mistakes that they have. And, my operator was very, very positive about the interaction with them. So I'm kind of excited about that.
We're all concerned about, as previous speakers have said, about increased costs and taxes, et cetera. But I'd like to give up a personal perspective on all of that. There are some communities I know that have kicked this can down the road and are now facing monumental costs all at once. So the better we can kind of spread out our upkeep and our projects like this, you can't avoid it, but at the same time, if you carefully analyze the situation and plan accordingly, the hit to us would be more in keeping with normal progression rather than being left holding back with no choice but to bite the bullet. So I congratulate you. I'm pretty comfortable with how things are running and this process, although I can see some areas that could have been improved. We're all human and I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Nobody else? So I have to go through all those. If you were here in the beginning, I opened all those public hearings. I have to close each one of them. We have to vote on each one of them. So if you're not interested in hearing all this stuff, because it's going to be a lengthy part of this process, then I would head for the hills now. If you don't want to, then you want to listen to us. I'd love to keep you here. So I'm going to start with this. Town Board, Town of New Windsor closed public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 1 related to the proposed expansion of the construction of speed compliance improvements to Cedars Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second,
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes, Town Board, Town of New Windsor closed the public hearing concerning the increased improvements of facility of sewer district number 2 related to the proposed expansion of the construction of speedy compliance improvements at Cedars Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second,
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes, Town Board, Town of New Windsor closed the public hearing concerning the increase and improvement of the facility in sewer district number 3 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedy compliance improvement to Cedars Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second,
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes, Town Board, Town of New Windsor closed the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility of sewer district number 3, extension number 1, related to the proposed expansion of the construction of speedy compliance improvement at the Cedars Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second,
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes, Town Board, Town of New Windsor closed the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility of sewer district number 4 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedy compliance improvement at Cedars Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second,
roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board of Town Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facility sewer district number 5 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvements at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board of Town Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvement of facilities of sewer district number 6 related to the proposed expansion of the construction of the speedies compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board of Town Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 7 related to the proposed expansion of the construction of speedies compliance improvements at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board of Town Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 8 related to the proposed expansion of the construction of the speedies compliance improvement at the Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board of Town Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvement of facilities of sewer district number 9 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of the speedies compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 10 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yep.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 11 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at the Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lincoln.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 12 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at the Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 13 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase of improvements of facilities of sewer district number 14 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 15 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvements at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 16 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvements at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities sewer district number 17 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase and improvements of facilities of sewer district number 18 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at the Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 19 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at the Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Pedetti.
Yes. Town Board, Town of Newton to close the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 20 related to the proposed expansion of the construction of speedies compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Morrell.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau. Supervisor.
Yes, yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
Yes. Town Board of Town of New Windsor closed the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities sewer district number 22 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speeds compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
Yes, Town Board of Town of New Windsor closed the public hearing concerning the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer district number 23 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvement at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
Yes. Town Board of Town of New Windsor closed the public hearing concerning the increase of approved to facilities of sewer district number 24 related to the proposed expansion of and the construction of speedies compliance improvements at Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
Yes, Town Board of Town of New Windsor hereby authorize the adoption of the attached resolution in order for the increase in improvements of facilities of sewer districts number 1, 2, 3, 3, extension 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 20, and 24 related to the proposed sewer plant expansion, outfall relocation, and treatment upgrade of the Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
Yes. Town Board of Town of New Windsor hereby authorize the adoption of the attached bond resolution, which amends the bond resolution initially adopted November 7, 2018, and amended on May 6, 2020, and again on April 7, 2021, increasing the appropriation of funds to $109,305,000 for the increase and improvements of facilities of the sewer districts number 1, 2, 3, 3, extension 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, and 24, and further authorize the issuance of serial bonds not to exceed $109,305,000 related to the proposed sewer plant expansion, outfall relocation, and treatment upgrade of the Caesar's Lane wastewater treatment plant. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
Yes. All right, public comment. Joe, you got anything? All right, good. Yes, nice. All right. No, anybody on the public here want to talk, Justin? Nothing? Nobody want to talk? Dave, you got anything for us? No? Surprised he's still here. Town Board, Town of New Windsor approved the minutes of the following, each of which were held on July 3rd, 2024, as per copies posted on the town clerk's bulletin board in the town hall, and same distributes each town board members. Public hearing for amendment to section of the Town of New Windsor Town Code, Chapter 300, entitled zoning, Chapter 300, Attachment 6, Town of New Windsor Planned Industrial PI Table of Use Bulk Regulations to allow garage repair by special use permit in the planned industrial PI zone. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
Yes. Mr. Receive and file, hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of New Windsor receive and file with the town clerk sealed and bids publicly open July 25th, 2024 for the Birchwood and Butterhill Drainage Project. That is starting, I believe, at the end of next month-ish, right? Maybe, hopefully, Dave, or Mike, yeah, Mike, Butterhill, Drainage.
Butterhill, so
June, yeah.
generally 2 weeks to get bonds and insurance after the contractor gets the notice of award. And then we'll set up a pre-construction meeting. Just will notice to proceed. I have not spoken to Errol about what their current schedule looks like.
Yeah, so
When
like-
they're planning to slot this in, but yeah, hopefully we get it started and get it rolling before weather.
All right, cool. Town Board, Town of New Windsor award the bid for the Birchwood and Butterhill Drainage Improvement Project in the amount of $1,651,400 to Arnold Construction Company Incorporated as the lowest responsible bidder in accordance with the general municipal law, section 103, and recommended by MHE Engineering, DPC, in the attached correspondence. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
Yes, the drainage project at Birchwood and Butterhill, after 2+ years, we'll get going here. Town Board, Town of New Windsor hereby authorize the supervisor to execute the attached agreement between County of Orange and Town of New Windsor for snow and ice control on certain county roads for 2024-2025 season. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Brown.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadeti.
This is the section of Union Avenue here in New Windsor? Yes, sorry. Whoa,
Okay.
got elbowed. Section here in, New Windsor and Union Avenue that our highway department handles for the county. Town Board 10 New Windsor hereby authorizes supervisor to execute the attached first, amendment to water supply purchase agreement between the town of New Windsor and Village of Curious Shoal for the town to provide the village with up to an additional 500,000 GPD of treated potable water via interconnect located in the vicinity of New York State Route 94. Said authorization is subject to the town and village receiving all required agency approvals. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Supervisor Pettiti.
Yes, this is, us just adding the final 500 to the original million that was talked about for that interconnect. Town Board 10 New Windsor authorizes the town clerk to advertise pursuant to law calling for a public hearing to be held on the fourth day of September at 7 p.m. 10 New Windsor Town Hall, 55 Union Avenue, New Windsor, New York, to hear all persons in town New Windsor and all sewer districts interested in the proposed sewer assessment roll. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yeah.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Supervisor Pettiti.
Yes, this is where our assessor actually puts that assessment on your taxes, so. He does the dirty work. Town Board 10 New Windsor hereby authorizes the supervisor to enter into and execute the attached task order number P 24-9060 with Quality Environmental Solutions and Technology Request for environmental design service related to the 10 New Windsor Caesars Lane wastewater treatment facility. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Supervisor Pettiti.
Yes. This is all that testing we have to do by Quest for all the buildings in there, right?
It's actually, the testing's all complete. This is the actual preparation of remediation.
Oh, okay. Cool, thank you. Town Board 10 New Windsor call a public hearing regarding a proposed local law to override the tax levy limit established general municipal law section 3-C5 to be held on September 4th, 2024, 7 p.m. at Town Hall 555 Union Avenue, New Windsor, New York, and authorize the town clerk to advertise for the same pursuant to law, all in accordance with the resolution annexed here to. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Supervisor Pettiti.
Yes, we do this every year. It's just in the event that we have to over the tax cap, we have it in place. Has to be done in a timely fashion. Town Board 10 New Windsor hereby introduce a local law to amend chapter 280 of the town code. Town New Windsor to add three-way stop streets at Clarkview Road and Knox Drive North and South. Declare the matter a type 2 action pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act. Call a public hearing for such proposed action to be held on September 4th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at Town Hall, 555 Union Avenue, New Windsor, New York, and authorize the town clerk to advertise for same pursuant to law by publication and posting, all in accordance with the resolution annexed here to. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Rowe.
Yes.
Supervisor Pettiti.
Yes, this is the addition to possibly 2 more stop signs in effect. The deputy chief's happy about this. Just snuck this long one in. Town Board 10 New Windsor authorizes the town clerk to advertise pursuant to law, calling for sealed proposals for the sale of town-owned property located at 323 Sue Kelly Avenue, New Windsor, New York, and identify the town New Windsor tax map as section 91, block 1, lot 2021. Said property was previously used by the town as a gym, but it has not been used at all for many years now and is no longer viable for such use for any other purpose by the town. The aforementioned advertisement for sealed bids will be published in the town designated official newspaper with the requested proposals being made available to prospective bidders shortly thereafter. All initial proposals shall be received and opened on the 10th day of October 2024 at 12 noon p.m. local time in the office of Town Clerk, Town New Windsor, 555 Union Avenue, New Windsor, New York. Following the opening of the initial proposals, there shall be a period of review and negotiation for the initial proposals from October 10th, 2024 through and including October 30, 2024. During this time, the town will review initial proposals and may seek to negotiate terms and conditions, including but not limited to prices offered. Final sealed proposals must then be received no later than October 31st, 2024 at 12 p.m. local time, at which time they will be opened at the office of the town clerk, New Windsor, New York, 555 Union Avenue, New Windsor, New York. The town board of the town of New Windsor shall reserve the right to reject any and all proposals and waive any informality or technicality in any proposal as deemed in the best interest of the town. Motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadet.
Yes, finally, this gym that's been up in the airport that we have not used and, hopefully not hopefully, I know I'm gonna sell it. I got my number. And we'll get it going. Town Board of Town Newens are hereby authorized to approve the hiring of Sean A. Zamanek, a full-time laborer. Said employment shall commence effective August 24, 2024. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadet.
Yes. Anthony, the 24th, he was in, met all the board today. The 24th, that's Saturday, obviously that following Monday, he can be told to start. Just has to see our IT specialist. Town Board, Town New Windsor pursuant to the Town Law Section 267A and the Town Law Section 26711A, appoint as an alternate to the Zoning Board of Appeals, Michael Schwartz, New Windsor, of New Windsor, New York, 12553. Term shall commence immediately and expire December 31st, 2025. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call. Okay.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadet.
Yes, Mike was interviewed by the zoning board. They gave a good reference for him and he has, he's gonna volunteer for the spot and not get paid for it, so we appreciate him volunteering for that. Town Board 10 New Windsor reappoint to the New Windsor Assessment Board of Review, Joseph Kuchera, 31 on the Lane, New Windsor, New York, 12553. Term shall commence immediately and expire September 30th, 2029. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadet.
Yes, Joe, had volunteered again to do another 5 years. He was, referred to us by the assessor, does a good job for us, and we thank him for his service there. Supervisor pursuant to New York State Town Law Section 29, 16, 52, and 63, I hereby establish a committee for the purpose of updating the town of New Windsor's hazard mitigation plan. The following shall serve on this committee: Sylvia Santiago, Councilwoman; Charles Rowe, Councilman; Chief of Police, or his designee, Superintendent of Highway, or his designee, Chief of the Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Chief of the New Windsor Fire Department, Chief of the Vesey Fire Department, authorized representative of the New Windsor Fire Inspector's Office, Town of New Windsor Safety Officer, Town Engineer, and Chief Information Technology Officer. So this expires in October of 2026. It's usually about an 18-month-ish process. It's required for us to be eligible for FEMA money. We have a couple of feelers out there to get some prices for it. And once we get some good prices back, we'll award that and get that going next month. Actually, we'll probably get it started officially with the person that we awarded in January for budgetary purposes, but I'll get the committee going on it to start talking on it. Town Board 10 New Windsor hereby authorized Temple Hill Tavern to dispense alcohol beverages at Christie Babcock Memorial Park during the New Windsor Community Day to be held on September 14, 2024, with a rain date of September 21st, 2024, in accordance with the Town of New Windsor Town Code Section 88-4A. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadet.
Yes, obviously, Community Day, this is a controlled alcohol sale event it's been there for years. A couple of years we didn't do it, and now we're just gonna do it this year. Town Board 10 New Windsor authorized supervisor to execute the attached agreement between the Town of New Windsor and Washington Central School District to provide the school district with police services at Little Britain Elementary School. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadet.
Yes, this agreement that we renew every 3 years, it was up. We sat down with the Washington School District, bargained for a couple extra things with them. They agreed. And Officer Fuchs, who does a good job for us in the police department there, they just signed out there, so we appreciate everything he does. Town Board 10 New Windsor hereby approve and ratify the terms of the attached stipulation of settlement between the Town of New Windsor and Upstate Properties USA LLC, Rabbi Scholl, Newman, Moishi, Stone, and Ephraim Schwartz, and further authorize that the Town of New Windsor execute any and all documents pertaining to said and to take any and all actions consistent with the terms thereof. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bro.
Yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yes.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Moreau.
Yes.
Supervisor Cadet.
So I just do want to touch on this. I know I've had a couple calls. So this is a 71, around 72 acre lot. our plot that's in between, we'll call it Hudson and Erie and St. Anne's and 94, if you will. It's been something that's been in the pipeline for 20 some years. 2020, the town changed our master comprehensive plan. We changed it from multifamily housing to single family homes. With that brought a lawsuit against us from litigation. And now the agreement that since we changed it to single family homes, because we felt the comprehensive committee felt that it fit the area, they're gonna build single family homes there now. So, at least that's their plan, and the plan is to build 49 of them. So it's gonna go from 115 townhomes down to 49 single family homes. So, I know our town attorney Dave has done a lot of work on that, and I appreciate that. Town board kind of ones are authorizing a solicitor's permit to Blaine Nelson doing business for Country Fresh Farms Incorporated to operate a mobile food service establishment at 120 Temple Road. New engineer selling frozen prepackaged USDA beef, pork, chicken, and seafood. Permit shall be obtained from the town clerk's office, and this is to authorize this solicitor's permit. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Bro.
No.
Councilman Lincoln.
No.
Councilman Santiago.
No.
Councilman Morrow.
No.
Supervisor Pedetti.
No. You're still notifying them? Receive and file a hearing, no objection, town board, town of New Windsor, receive and file a certificate of clerk as to no referendum in the matter of lease of town-owned property located at 930 Rise Avenue, and further identify in the town New Windsor tax maps of section 91, block 1, lot 13.2 for a term of 5 years with five-year mutual options to extend a 3% escalation rate and initial annual rent of $185,400 with utilities paid by the tenant. That's a receiving file. And the whole town-owned property thing, that's right. Another receiving file, hearing no objection, town board, town of New Windsor hereby receiving file with the town clerk, the attached grant agreement dated June 28, 2024, between the town of New Windsor and Dormitory Authority of New York State, DASNY, for the state municipal grant the funds to purchase heavy-duty maintenance equipment and purchase of keyless entry access system at Christie Bedford Memorial, Rossetti Park, and Rasco Senior Center. Thank you, thanks to our local senator, James Scoofus, we were able to get that $50,000. Hearing no objections, town board, town of New Windsor hereby receive and file with the town clerk the attached correspondence from Orange County Department of Planning, providing its consent. Town of New Windsor assuming a role of lead agency for review of River Keepers Walsh Road Dam Removal Project. Another receive and file, hearing no objections, town board, town of New Windsor hereby receive and file with the town clerk the attached assured flood insurance policy number 740-580-3573 for the period of August 13, 2024 through August 13, 2025. I think it's for the sewer plant, right? Only place that floods, right, mainly? So yes, Jeff. Hearing no objection, town board. The town of New Windsor hereby receive and file with the town clerk the attached notice of claim in the matter of Denise Italia versus town of New Windsor. This is something that occurred that we got a notice of claim for, and it's not even on town property, actually on private property. Receive and file is the monthly reports, hearing no objection, town board, town of New Windsor shall receive and file with the town clerk the attached monthly reports of the following departments of July 24th. These are all for the month of July 2024. Judge Calderon, Judge Myers, Police Department, Building Department, Recreation Department, Tax Receiver, Utility Report, Town Clerk, and New Windsor Emergency Medical Services. Joe, you got any public forum? You got anything? No? All right, good. Town board. Town of New Windsor. Oh, God, I thought it was town board, town of New Windsor adjourn the town board meeting at 8:44 PM.
Oh,
Motion, roll call.
Second.
Councilman Bro.
yes.
Councilman Lincoln.
Yeah.
Councilman Santiago.
Yes.
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes. 1 hour, yes.